to to an MIT grad, to a multi-millionaire entrepreneur. I've been the CEO, chief operating officer, and senior executive at companies that are 60 billion dollars. Nowadays, enterprise startups, companies. And I've learned that succeeding in life is actually quite simple. Right? No, it's who are you kidding? Winning is hard. That's why we need cheat codes. So let's just get into it. First cheat code: saving is not investing. Investing can seem hard and complicated. It doesn't have to. Here's the power of investing. If you put just $5,000 into an S&P 500 index every year, starting in your 20s, by the time you retire in your 60s, you would have $1.4 million. That is the magic of the trick is you have to stay in the market. Don't panic when the market starts throwing a tantrum. I learned it the hard way. In 2008, you remember during the financial crisis, the world was on the brink of collapse. The S&P 5,000 dropped almost 50%. I lost 30%. And I pulled the rest of it out of the market. But when the market started bouncing back, just after a year or two, I refused to go back in. If I had done absolutely nothing and stayed in the market, my net worth today would be 40% higher. So two things. Don't try to time the market and don't try to beat them. Don't chase crypto, meme stocks, and single stocks, and options and derivatives. A lot of fancy stuff that doesn't work for retail investors. Stick to traders. Number one, put it in an index fund. This is the hard part. Stay in the market. Nothing. My second cheat code is the most controversial. Stop following your passion. Passion doesn't lead to success. It works the other way around. A study at a Canadian university found that only 4% of students could make money following their passion. 96% of us can't turn our passion into a real career. That raises a powerful question. What happened to all that do what you love stuff? Honestly, you never work a day in your life if you do what you love. When I talk to young professionals, many of them believe if you follow your passion, money will come. But here's the truth. People are passionate about creative things, art, music, photography, painting. Those things don't pay the bills. Don't focus on finding your passion, focus on building it. By being great at something, passion will follow you. Next up is three secrets to success. Practice, practice, practice. Do you know why Taylor Swift and Kobe Bryant succeeded when others failed? Because persistence always pays. I know countless musicians from Berkeley School of Music. These are some of the most talented people, and yet they still put in 8 to 10 hours every single day practicing hard stuff, stuff that makes their fingers, bodies, excellence doesn't come naturally. It is built with practice. I'll tell you one thing. I can sit still for hours and hours and be focused on deep work without distraction, or without eating, without drinking. Now that's my way. That's my superpower. Yours will be easy to find because banking on talent alone is like having a Ferrari with no engine. Beautiful to look at, it's not going. Ask yourself, what skills can you practice? Now, you might be or you might be working at a job without any unique or marketable skills, but that's okay. Start today. And amazing. That brings us to cheat code number four. You need to treat your career like an investment portfolio, collection of skills and connections. Compound over time. If you're working a corporate job in your 20s, this is why they're treating you so bad. I started at the bottom of the bottom. My first job in Boston was a help desk guy at a 600 systems consulting firm. Picture this: a small, dark room, no windows, everything is cramped with cables and spare parts and servers. And three other employees with me, and all four of us, we smelled bad and we got yelled at a lot. But you know what? I was having the time of my life because I was day to learn everything about technology. So I would work for 14, 15 hours. I'll go home. I'll still work. I'll work weekends. I wanted to know everything about operating systems, about not just hard skills, but soft skills like communications, collaboration. And I wasn't just building skills, I was building connections. I would take extra projects. By the end of those 5 years, I think I put in like 15,000 hours in building skills and connections. Paid off. I was promoted to be the program manager of my own office. In less than 20 years from my first promotion, I became the CEO of it. If you're starting out, you won't have autonomy. You will be mistreated. You will be micromanaged. Treat it like a gift. Be a learning community. Soak up everything you can. Because if you want to make more money than others, then you have to offer more value. My next cheat code. Move where the opportunities are. If you want to grow your career, then you need to move where the action is. I made that mistake. Moved to New York City way too late after being in Boston for 16 years. And of course, the moment I moved to New York, that was a game changer for me. And still today, I question whether I should have moved to San Francisco when I had the opportunity in the early 2000s. I think that was a lack of foresight. Here's the thing, you can't grow your network and your career by sitting on Zoom calls in your pajamas. Of course, there are certain jobs where being remote is okay, like legal or software engineering or field sales. But even in those roles, if you are ambitious and you want to grow, you have to show up and be seen. Because the exposure you get by being in the office, collaborating with others, solving problems together, resolving conflict face to face, will teach you skills that remote work will not. Next up is number six. Understand the difference between equity and salary. The top 1% don't chase salaries, they chase equity. I always say salary buys you furniture, equity buys you future. Equity is exponential. You own an unlimited upside. And of course, listen, 9 out of 10 times you'll swing and you'll miss. Happened to me so many times. I had stock options in every company. Some of them failed, some of them did well, but that didn't move my needle. Kept swinging. When I hit it, that was a rainmaker. It changed my life. And there is another thing. When you own equity, no matter how small, you start thinking like an owner. And that shift changes the way you approach your career, how you approach your work. Real wealth won't come from chasing paychecks. So have an ownership mindset and try to get some equity whenever you can. Cheat code number seven, humble yourself and get a mentor. I waited until 40 to get a don't make the same mistake. Yes, I waited too long before I got real career business mentors. Just then, it was like trying to navigate the career minefield blindfolded what I was doing. Once I found the right mentors, my career took off. 10 years, just 10 years after I started getting mentored by one of the most amazing CEOs, I became the CEO. I got to work alongside some of the most brilliant people on the planet. Do I think that was just a mere coincidence? No, not at all. Having a mentor is like having the ultimate cheat code for the game of life. And by the way, don't fall for those executive coaches that charge you for advice. They're all fake. Find real mentors who are invested. Read a great book. It's called $1 Trillion Coach. It's about Bill Campbell, and it's amazing and it's inspiring. Cheat code number eight is to have an emergency fund so you're ready for whatever when it throws at you. If you got laid off this year and didn't have an emergency fund, you're probably struggling to pay the bills. That's so common. A few months ago, a friend of mine was driving home from work. Suddenly, he felt like the right side of his face went numb. He pulled over, he called 911, rushed him to the hospital. They did all the tests. It's so hard. He's in his mid 40s. It's a lovely family. There was no warning, no rhyme. Could happen to any of us, right? You have to expect the unexpected, like medical bills or losing our jobs. So try to save 3 to 6 months of your expenses in an emergency. Please don't touch it unless and until emergency. Cheat code number 9 is called forming your own FBI. This framework has saved me hundreds of thousands of dollars last year. In our case, FBI is our financial bureau of investigation. First, where is your money going? If you don't know where your money is going, how can you control it? Second, categorize your cash into four buckets. I call them four E's: emergency, essentials, equity, and enjoyment. Emergency fund, savings for a rainy day, your safety. Essentials, the everyday expense like electricity, gas. Equity is your investments, how you will build long-term wealth. Enjoyment, well, that's the fun stuff, vacations, hobbies. But here's the catch. You only fund the fourth bucket after the first three buckets are covered. Now, the easiest way to build your FBI is to use apps like Mint or Good Budget, but they help you track and categorize your expenses. Next up is cheat code number 10. Forget the American dream unless you want American debt. Stop chasing status symbols like designer clothes. It makes you look broke. I was 36 when we bought our first home. My wife and I were things, double income, no kids. And we made sure that our annual mortgage was about 22% of our annual expenses. And we knew that we comfortably just mortgage. Now, home buying is the biggest debt that you don't need when you're in your 20s. And same goes for the credit card debt. So many of us spend so much on designer brands using credit cards. In the US, the average credit card interest rate is 20%. Sometimes it's even 28%. So say no to designer sneakers and status symbols. Don't let brands define you. So the cheat code is simple. Wealth isn't about what you got, it's about what you. My 11th cheat code is to get financially literate. Einstein called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. There are two books on finance that I highly recommend. One is Psychology of Money. The other is Algebra of Wealth. These books aren't the get rich quick nonsense that you get peddled every day. They focus on your mindset, on the discipline, long-term financial principles. Now, why does that? It matters because financial literacy is the best investment you can make in yourself. It's the shield that protects you from bad decisions and financial terms. So start with three things. Learn how compounding works. Convince yourself that it is really magic. Two, learn how credit scores work. Remember, your credit profile matters more than your dating profile. And number three, how taxes work. Stay out of trouble. Trust me, prison food doesn't taste great. Cheat code number 12. Automate every financial transaction you have. If you hate saving money, this one thing will make it so much easier. When I was in my 20s, I wish I had done things differently. I wish I had let technology take care of my finance. You can learn
Smart
from my
man.
mistakes and do
Listen to
three
the
things.
man. He got
First,
some good
automate
insights.
savings. Do that before your paycheck hits your hands. I regret not investing in my 20s. I regret not letting the idea of compounding work as magic. Second, automate your bills. Set up automatic payments for everything: utilities, credit cards, subscriptions. That way you'll never miss a payment or get hit by a late fee. Third, automate your spending control. Use technology to put guardrails around your discretionary spending. That brings us to number 13. Go analog. Doom scrolling is killing your critical thinking skills. In the 1970s, about 40% of high school seniors read at least six books a year, and 12% of them didn't read. Today, those numbers have flipped. No one wants to read anymore. We are a distracted generation, but there is hope. A 2017 study found that even a 1 week detox from social media can improve your attention span, cognitive function. And that's because deep reading and immersion helps you think critically, engage in complex ideas, and even expand your vocabulary. In a world where everybody's distracted, your ability to be focused is super. Cheat code number 14 is to think of failure as your friend. I know I sound like a Hallmark card, but it is so true. The most successful people we know are the people that fail the most. Take me, for example. I have been fired not once, not twice, but three times in my career. And it wasn't pretty. Each time it was on the spot firing. No warning. I didn't even see it coming. And it was brutal. They would say, "We're letting you go. We'll send your stuff in boxes later. Go spend time with your family." And I was like, I don't want to go. And my family is the last thing I want to see when I get fired. Being fired is tough. Each time I was unemployed, it lasted for more than 6 months. And every day felt like a struggle. Reaching into my network or talking to recruiters, even talk to my friends. It was hard. I felt embarrassed. I felt like I was a failure. But here's what I've learned: failure is not our tormentor, it's our teacher. If you learn from it, it will prepare you for success. Cheat code number 15. It's a hard one. Don't be afraid to ask for help. There's a reason they call success a team sport. Fear was my biggest kryptonite. For years, it was like this invisible force field that trapped me into mediocrity. I was so fearful of rejection. I was paralyzed. Now, of course, I'm shameless. And I embrace the idea that I will reach. Ed Sheeran was rejected by every single record label. They thought he was too ginger, or too acoustic, or too nerdy. He faced rejections even when performing. He'd get booed and hackled. But now he's selling out stadiums and singing with Beyonce. So someone doesn't like you, so what? Keep moving until someone does like you. Find your tribe. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who support you, who challenge you. As Dumbledore said, help will always be given to those who ask. Next up is number 16. Don't play the victim card. This is why I'm friends with the people who fired me. I have stayed in touch with some of the bosses who let me go. A few of them are still good friends. We've even served as references for each other, supported each other's careers, and even had a few laughs about day I got fired. And it's the same the other way around. In my career, I had to let go of a lot of people. And I've tried to stay connected with them. Why? Because business is never personal. When you play the victim card, the only person you hurt is yourself. World keeps moving on and you stay stuck. Remember, world is not interested in being fair to us. Life is too short to hold grudges. My 17th cheat code is the most important decision of all is keep if you end up with the wrong partner, you'll be emotionally bankrupt. This is the one thing that I feel I got right. In my early 20s, I dated a lot. And when I found the right person, then we both took it slow. We spent 6 to 7 years together, living together, before deciding to get married. And I was in my 30s then. And by then, we understood how we both thought about life, how we would have tough conversations, how we would
Smart man.
resolve conflicts with love and respect. And today, she's still my best friend. That one decision has made my life everything possible. Now, here's something to remember. Our brain operates using two types of systems. System one is the fast emotional gut reaction. This is what takes over when we're infatuated, when we fall for someone attractive. It's immediate, it's exciting, it's romantic, but it's not. System two, on the other hand, is the slow, rational. It's the part of your brain that evaluates the long-term compatibility and weighs what really matters in your partner. And when it comes to falling in love, most of us use system one. Cheat code 18 is to forgive yourself for the past. Forgiveness is not about you, it's about you. I had a troubling childhood, terrifying in fact. Father was physically abusive. I don't think our families ever talked about it. But growing up, I remember being afraid. Every evening I would look at the clock, watching it, yeah, and you. Over the years, he told me so many things, like where I was stupid, I was worthless, and I believed it. I didn't have it. And to be fair, I don't know what kind of position mental health issues my dad was suffering through. Anyway, I left home when I was a teenager. For a while, I was homeless, sleeping on train station benches. Later, I joined an ashram and decided to become a monk. And I'm sharing all of this because I know I'm not alone. Mr. Issues. You are not alone. We all share struggle. Tony Stark had that issue. Luke Skywalker had daddy issues. Even Britney Spears has daddy issues. All of us carry this cross. Our past is like a bag of bricks, and we can decide to put it down. Please forgive yourself for the way you let your past find you. My 19th cheat code is true value is about what you bring to others. Your success is the echo of the line. There is a profound Native American saying that you live only as long as the last person who lives. That's a fact. Think about it. Our lives, our careers, our legacy. That's a fact. All of it boils down to just one thing: the impact we made on other people's lives. As I get older, I now know that everything that matters is about others. Oof. It is about everything that matters is about others. You hear that? Your kindness, your generosity, your love, your impact, all that. That brings us to the last cheat, number 20. Your happiness is connected to what you own and what you desire. You hear that? The secret of happiness is just one simple equation. Wow. When I was at the monk training center, a senior monk shared with me something that changed my perspective forever. He was actually a physician by training, a very successful man, became a monk, gave up that way. He's probably in his 80s now, but still as wise and insightful as ever. He had a simple equation. H is equal to O divided by D. Happiness is equal to what you own, O, divided by what you desire, D. If you own more than you desire, the top number will get larger than the bottom, and your happiness will increase. But if your desires exceed what you own, your happiness will diminish. Desires can be infinite. The things you can own are always going to be finite, even for the richest man on this planet. That is a fact. And that so the key is to manage your desires. If your desires are exactly equal to what you own, then you will find that perfect unity of joy and happiness. I think it's a brilliant equation. And I will leave you with my favorite part. When your desires approach zero, happiness goes to infinity. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel for more content.